All right, let's dive right in. We are going to break down one of the most stressful, most draining parts of modern life: how to actually protect your time and your energy without making things weird with the people you care about, at home with your friends, and especially at work.
You know this feeling. The day is finally over, your brain is just starting to quiet down, you're just about to relax. And then, your phone lights up. It's that notification, the one you know is from work, or maybe that friend who always needs something.
And there it is, that phrase. Your stomach does a little flip, your shoulders get tight, that physical flash of anxiety. Researchers actually have a name for that. They call it the wobble moment. It's the exact instant your nervous system senses a clash between what you need and what someone else wants. And that feeling? Well, that's exactly what we're here to solve. So, to get a handle on that wobble, we first have to completely reframe what a boundary even is. See, most of us think of boundaries as these big, aggressive walls we have to put up. But what if that's not what they are at all? What if there's something way smarter? This right here, this is the key. A boundary isn't about telling other people what to do. The Mayo Clinic puts it perfectly. It's about getting clear on where your responsibility ends and theirs begins. Think of it like a fundamental law of relationships. You're only in charge of your own thoughts, your own feelings, and your own actions. That's it. For anyone who thinks strategically, that idea is a complete game changer. And this shows you the payoff. I mean, look at this number. Research found that people with clear boundaries report a whopping 47% lower stress level. But here's the really interesting part, the thing most people miss. This isn't just about feeling a little better. It's about unlocking more energy for the things that actually move the needle in your life. It's like a hidden lever for a less chaotic life. Okay, so theory is great, but how do we do this in the real world, right? This is where we get super practical. I'm going to walk you through a simple, repeatable blueprint. It's called the SAFE method. And this is a safe, practical way to communicate your limits without starting a fight. It's totally doable even if you've never, ever tried to set a boundary before in your life. The whole thing has just 3 core steps: specify, assert, and fairness. Let's break down exactly what that looks like, and we'll use a super common scenario from work. First up, you have to specify. This is huge. You have to go from that vague, cloudy feeling of, ugh, I'm just so overwhelmed, to a concrete, specific observation. The clearer you are, the easier it is to solve. You're not complaining here, you're just identifying a specific pattern of behavior. Next, assert. Now pay close attention what this script doesn't have. There's no apology. You're not sorry for having a limit, and that's absolutely crucial. For people like us who really care about having good relationships, using calm, confident language like this signals self-respect, and that in turn actually earns you more respect from other people. And finally, fairness. Honestly, this is the hidden key. This is what turns what could feel like a personal demand into a collaborative strategy. You're framing your boundary as a way to make the partnership better for both of you. It's not me versus you anymore. It becomes us making our process better. It just shows you're thinking strategically. All right, now let's get into the practical toolkit. I'm going to give you some really clear, basically copy and paste scripts you can use for some of the most common and, let's be honest, most awkward situations. Here's the simple, usable version you can put to work right away. For settlers, let's start with family. Oh man, we have all been there. That one relative who definitely means well, but just can't stop telling you how to live your life. Here's the script. I appreciate your concern, but I'd prefer to discuss my choices only when I specifically ask for advice. See how good that is? It acknowledges their good intentions first. Then it calmly states your limit. It's polite, but it is firm. Sharing a little tip like this is what makes you look incredibly socially savvy. Okay, what about friends? You want to protect your downtime without making them feel like you're pushing them away. Try this one. I value our conversations, but late night messages make it hard for me to unwind. Can we plan our chats earlier? This script is gold because it leads with connection. I value our conversations, and then it uses collaborative language. It's a classic move for people like us who value our friends and our own sanity. And now, the big one, your boss. Look, this isn't about being difficult or refusing to work. This is about managing expectations so you can be productive for the long haul. Here's what you can use. I try to unplug after 6 p.m. I'll respond to non-urgent messages first thing in the morning. This frames your boundary as a professional strategy, something that ensures you're rested and effective when you are on the clock. It's just a smart, long-term play. So, this is the really crucial point. You've used the scripts, you've stated your boundary clearly and kindly. But what happens when they don't like it? Let's talk about the single biggest fear that stops people from even trying, the pushback. Okay, here is something that almost no one ever talks about. Getting pushback doesn't mean you failed, just the opposite. It means the new dynamic is actually working. People are noticing the change. It's a totally normal, predictable part of this whole process. So you can expect it, and it won't throw you off course. It means you're on the right track. Let's go back to that law of relationships. Your only job here is to stay calm and restate your boundary. That's it. It is not your job to manage their feelings about it. I mean, think about that. This is a moment of total liberation. You are responsible for your actions. They are responsible for their reactions. That is a core strategic insight. And if you need a script for that exact moment, here it is. It's so simple and so powerful. It's calm, it's empathetic, but it's totally unshakable. I understand you're upset. That validates their feeling. My need remains the same. That holds the line without you having to apologize or over-explain. It's incredible. So as we wrap this up, I want to come back to that huge misconception from the beginning. The real goal, the ultimate purpose of boundaries, it isn't to push people away. It's actually the exact opposite. And here it is, the big takeaway. By being clear about what is and isn't okay for you, you create safety and predictability in your relationships. It actually allows people to relax and connect with you more authentically because the unspoken rules are now out in the open. It's an act of self-respect that, in the end, invites everyone around you to show up as better versions of themselves too. Now, everything we've talked about today works really well when people are willing to respect your limits. But that brings up a much deeper, much more complicated question. What happens when they aren't? What do you do when someone consistently and deliberately blows past your boundaries? Well, that's a whole different dynamic, and it requires a completely different set of tools. So if this explainer helped give you some clarity, maybe think about sharing it with that one friend we all have. You know, the one who is always overextended and burning out from doing too much for everyone else. This framework could be the exact thing they've been looking for to finally make a change. Thanks so much for watching.
If this touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with your family. Save this for more meaningful content ahead.